Well, hello everybody, Smith here, and welcome to another episode of our Jurassic World JurassiCraft Isla Nublar. And we're on episode 4 of our grand tour of the Isla Nublar island that I've built. And we shall go off in this direction to finish off. And in this episode, we're also going to show you the new JurassiCraft island server map. And see how some of the features of this world actually fit into it before the end. So thanks very much, and let's carry on. This over here is the end of the Cretaceous Cruise, and we haven't got any dinos in here because they've all disappeared again. So let me just put all the dinos back into this area that should be. Now we've got the new pre-release and they shouldn't die, and then I shall come back. So over here you have the end of the Cretaceous Cruise, where you can offload and come over here. Then you can come and sit down and watch the dinos. And what we've put in here is we've got the Stegosaurus and we've got Triceratops in this paddock, and we've then got the Paracephalopus and the Gallimimus in this paddock over here. Spawned quite a few babies out. Oh, the Triceratops are wandering around, but they're alright, quite well. We've put quite a hefty fence in here, well, with gates, which we built quite a few episodes back. So, but it looks quite good, so that's alright there. This is where the Apatosaurus, and again there will be a number of dinos running down that valley, but it's quite a small valley. Well, that's better frame rates now rather than that. So we will nip across to the Gyrosphere while we're here, because then we have completed all the things over this side before we go to the last two big builds and the end of this episode. But we've got quite a bit to try and cram in at the moment. So this was a Gyrosphere. I will port this again to somewhere else in the map. It's a true representation of the Gyrosphere itself. I even put sort of a sign there if you've seen the famous picture of people queuing up. But what I did with this one is, because the people didn't enter from this side, we entered from this side. We put a little bridge in where the Gyrospheres come in under the bridge and into the area over here. You climb into the Gyrosphere, and there's the canopy area there. Come into here, you get into Gyrosphere, and off you go out across the valley. Shall we put one Apatosaurus in here? Shall we? Yeah, I think we shall. Let's just get the Apatosaurus. Here we go. Get rid of that, don't need that. Right, let's see if we can get two Apatosaurus on here. Here we go. These are big. Yes, look at that. Isn't that cute? They are fantastic. Love these. Oh yes, one of each. So there you go, walking, and the Apatosaurus has got quite a hefty 120 health on it, which is pretty good. You can see them eating the grass, which is pretty cool. There you go, well done, I love them. Right, so let's head over to the next exhibit, which is the Velociraptor paddock. If you remember rightly, for those of you who've been following me for a while, I built this quite a while back actually, probably about 108 to 110. Yeah, sorry, I never showed you the Paracephalopus there. Over this side, you saw them earlier in the video, and the Gallimimus are here as well. I do love Gallimimus. They are fantastic. You are absolutely wonderful. 65. Right. So what I did is I put the Velociraptor paddock over here. However, we now know the location of the Velociraptor paddock, which is on the literally on the north eastern area. So here it is as we built it. Oh, and the Velociraptors are still in there. I can't remember whether it just sort of brought me at the end. You can see it's got the famous layout. However, we now know, and some people did spot it originally, that this paddock goes into the forest at the back. Now where this is situated, there isn't a forest, it's a big hill, but literally the original design had an area all the way around the back, but we now know it doesn't, which means I'm going to have to open this. This is opened out here. It's completely open, and then it goes off into the jungle here, so there's a bit of a fence here, and then they've obviously got a paddock where they can run around, so it's got to be positioned in a place that I can do that. And literally at the beginning of the movie you see the piggy, little piggy running into this area here and being chased by the velociraptors from the forest. So they had a velociraptor forest paddock, which I'm going to do in the new build, so that's pretty good. It needs to be pretty strong and it needs to be pretty high, because look how high these are to stop the velociraptors escaping, although I can imagine they're brainy enough to do that. So there's 65 out of 65. Look, oh, let's go have a look at you. Oh, this is Charlie. Look, it shows up. Blue. I love that on this little mod here. It shows up. Oh, oh. And this mod will be listed in the description. And look at that, new animations for these as well. I can't wait. You need to make them attack pigs. That's what I really do. There you go. Ooh, quite happy. Well advanced. Right, okay, so there is the Velociraptor compound, which looks basically like it is. There you go. So you've even got the cage area here with the steps, and it's got the traps. The traps are here where they came in and out, but what I've done is just put some doors in here like that. Hey, that's a good one. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh no, what's going on? Get off. Yeah, well there we go. So Apatosaurus has disappeared again, and there you have it. So that's a paddock. So we just got one more thing to go and see. What I'll do is, there you go. So there's that particular area should be on a higher cliff, and it should be, now we now know that the Velociraptor paddock was over at this point on the island, which we were to do in the new one. Oh, I didn't know that was there. It's another temple. Yeah, it's a temple in the water, or half a temple in the water, which is quite good. Yeah, it's around about here on the new island. So anyway, over here though, we have sort of slotted in over here is the aviary, and this is one of my latest builds, so probably most of you have seen the aviary. But we'll go in through the seaward entrance, which is down here. There we go. You can get a boat and we can walk in here, come through there. Ooh, that's grown already. There we go. And there's double gates to stop the flying reptiles escaping, and you can then walk round here. I wouldn't want to walk in here because I feel that you would get attacked, but I was going to put some sort of entrance in here. So now we're inside the aviary, and we've got quite a bit to show you in here, and we haven't got any flying creatures in because we're going to bring those in for you to finish off watching. So in my builds, one of the last things I was building before this grand tour, and we're on episode 3, is this is the new modern visitor centre for the aviary, which I'm building based on a very old design, but we haven't finished it yet because we haven't put the remaining stairs to connect that up. And on this side I have got an old design which I did many episodes ago, and you can see this is really from Isla Sauna really. And you can see that I've put the gates in here, and I've put gates in on the other side of the aviary as well. So this build is particular. The new aviary is going to have to be quite different in that I will use the same design. I think the new aviary needs to be bigger, and definitely bigger, and we will do it on the edge of a mountain. So instead of being a dome like this, it will be very much like the Jurassic World aviary in that we have got a suitable mountain, we found it, and we'll put the aviary in and then build it again from scratch and put all those fancy stanchions that are on the outside that you saw the Enormous Rex come in and break in. So that'd be pretty cool. I do feel that there's a visitor centre there, and you can see it through the glass on a long range shot, but we never got to see the visitor centre. We've seen this pipeline on the made cups, and this particular bit here where the visitors are walking through and looking down with all the flying reptiles flying above them, with the water in the bottom and then a waterfall over there. So we want to put a waterfall in as well. That'd be really cool. But this is quite a mega build. It took me quite a while to do. In here we have the cafeteria area and bar area here with tables and chairs, but again this sort of needs a bit of an upgrade with all the lighting and everything which is missing. And I'll just have a look at that. We've got some missing steps there as well, because when I updated to 1.8 quite a lot of things went missing. It's just the way it works, so it gives me a chance to come back and build again. This particular visitor centre has a walkway which is coming out into here, and it's coming together. But this, literally the episode before the first Grand Tour episode was this one, and it did take quite a bit to build it, and we were just finishing it off. It's got an intricate roof design with a sail and everything like that, so you can see that. You can see the hotel down the valley. Wow, look how far away that is. Right, so we have 7 flying reptiles at the moment, and there are more, so we'll just bring them all in. So from the first pre-release we had the Dimorphodon. Aren't they cool? Off they go, Dimorphodon. Then we had Ludodactylus. That's the green one. That's the blue one. Off they go. Then we had Pteranodon. These are big. And if you saw in my latest pre-release review video, we've managed to be able to capture these, so you can have a look at every single one, male and female, on that video if you haven't seen already. Last one of the first pre-release was the Trophognathlus. And this is the one with the super duper bill, the round bill. And there's 2 different types. There's one with spots and one's with the full colour, and they are really cool. And then we had, in the second pre-release, we had the Pterodactylus. Here it is. Whoa, one of my favourites. And then in the latest pre-release from the 24th, we have now got the Mogan Terrace. I call it Mogan Terrace. And these are lovely brown with 2 different head. Oh, you've got both here. You've got the one with the black stripe and the sort of reddish stripe. And finally, not least at the moment, we have the Xenowan Terrace. There you go, which is a completely different flying creature. And if you go to the DeviantArt pages, there are loads more on there as well. But there you go. Now, what I know for a fact, I've just been to the Eden Project in Cornwall for my holiday, and I would like to do a multiple dome design, in that this would be the main biggest dome, and then there'd be another dome there, another dome there. The visitor centre would be in the middle, and then I would like to use the same design again for another set of 3 domes on the other side, really to stop these reptiles attacking each other, because once they're finished in the mod, they will attack some of the different ones will attack each other, so we don't want that, because we want them quite happy. So what it means is I'm going to do 2 different designs, which really I can probably still keep this design and this design, but make the 2 biomes or domes completely different. So there you have it, really. We're going to sort of nip out over here. One thing I will do is, I did promise at the start, is to give you a sneak peek of the server and how my world fitted into it. So that's what we're going to finish off with. We're going to get out of here, and again you can see these heavy duty gates in here. All this has been done. I could hear footsteps, but there you go. Sometimes you're walking around this and you hear footsteps and go, hold on, that can't be right. There's only me on this server. And you can see the monorail which meanders through. There's also some interesting cave features down here which I haven't done anything with yet, but it would make an interesting sort of thing to do with this. So let's just go back up to here, and this monorail's all been fixed, so you can actually use this to come all the way up here on the map. So what we're going to do now is, to finish off this video, we are just going to head across to the new JurassiCraft Isla Nublar to show you the difference. So what I'll do is, just to keep you in pace here, this is the map that I've got now, and I have cut and pasted the hotel, the Innovation Centre, Main Street, half the Pachycephalosaurus Arena and the Mosasaurus Arena, and pasted it into the new world just to see how it actually fitted in. So that's what I'm going to do. Just to finish off, I'm going to show you the map and show you how it fits in. So this new server map, as it is, has got all sorts of fantastic features. It's proper topography, as you can see here from the hills. This is the entrance to the eastern dock. It was the eastern dock over here, but however, this is where I have at the moment in my world. I've got the Sea World visitor area over here, but this map is a true map. Now it's quite interesting that some of the things sort of fit in and some of the things don't, because the map that I made was, I just did it from World Painter, but look at this map, it's absolutely brilliant, and it's done a true representation as per the Jurassic Park Isla Nublar. Now that Jurassic Park Isla Nublar has a river here. Now look where my hotel fits in. I've just tried to squeeze it in as best I can, but on my map the river is a bit further this way, so you can see I've copied and pasted it. So remember, this is just a splice in just to see how big it was. So literally you can see the river is still going through there, so really technically speaking I need to move some stuff around to fit it onto the map. And I'll show you why, because what's cool is we've got the mountain at the back of the visitor centre. So this is the lake, there's half a Pachycephalosaurus arena because you can see the trees behind, and I've just pasted it in literally where it is. One thing of note is that I have Main Street. Main Street's right, it's absolutely spot on, but this T-Rex Kingdom has to literally, it will have to move and be rebuilt because it should come out over here. But that in itself creates some interesting things. Let me show you why. Once that builds at the back, you will see the actual hills behind, which match the hills from the movie canon. So it will build, but it creates, in putting this on, I can't wait to start it. I'll start it soon, but it does create its own issues. This is the Innovation Centre, and there is the lake back there. The Innovation Centre could actually really go back, but in the movie there's a big gap between the Innovation Centre and these beautiful mountains at the rear. But for the purpose of a server map, we can forego that, because what would be really cool is to have the Innovation Centre. I would say I'm going to separate all these things out. In fact, I'm going to have to upload them as well separately, because I need to move the Innovation Centre back towards the hill. For the purpose of the server map, I don't have to, you know, I can sort of play around with it. That's going to be rebuilt or turned around. This could go further back, because if you remember, at the back of here, the helicopter pad is sort of over here, roughly behind the Innovation Centre on the hillside. So it's quite a way. So I have got some leeway, and I could move the Innovation Centre this way more. So I have got about 20 blocks, about 20 to 30 blocks to play with that. Now, you can see that this is all terraformed really good. This is done by, and I forget his name right because I've been on Skype with him, Zuord, and many of you will have seen the video, but this literally goes over the backside, and on my map this is where we've got the Irex paddock, but it literally goes over here and the sea. So the width of the island is slightly wider than mine, to say the least, and it should literally, it should be the sea on this side. There you go, there's the sea with the cliffs. So it's all cool. So I also just wanted to give you, I'm going to do a full review of the island, but I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse at the end of this grand tour to show you where we're going next, which is Isla Nublar 2, I call it, which is looking pretty cool. Got to play around with it, and but I'll do that on the movies. It's a bit kicking back in. So that is it. Thank you very much for staying with me for that long episode, the final grand tour of Isla Nublar. This is the new Isla Nublar behind me, mixed in, and so we're going to have a lot of exciting videos coming, and with the rebuilding and reimagining of Isla Nublar to the scale island. So I'm really looking forward to that. Sorry the little gap in the episodes, but we should be getting back to producing quite a few episodes in the run up to Christmas. So if you enjoy my Isla Nublar builds, please like, please sub, and please make comments. I try and reply to all the comments as best I can. Sometimes a little delay in my replies, but I usually get there. So thank you very much indeed again for all the support over the last year. We have literally been a year now building this, not quite, well, just over 11 months to get to this point, and it's been well worth it. So thank you very much, and hopefully see you next time.